We started our Coffee with Coaches podcast a couple of years ago to tell the stories of our Campbell coaches, their upbringing and background, their coaching journey, successes, and insight. Search Coffee with Coaches Campbell online or wherever you're getting this now and have a listen to great insight from all of our coaches. Coaches who are now dealing with unprecedented challenges and a unique sports landscape thanks to COVID 19. How are they coping? How are their student athletes doing? How is working from home? Our goal is to give you a look inside. I'm Chris Ameyer, and this is Coffee with Coaches. Set to host the Big South Conference tournament on their home floor, the Campbell women's basketball team was on that floor in Gore Arena, preparing for their quarterfinal game that night when word came that the tournament was canceled. Soon after, the NCAA tournament was canceled, suddenly ending one of the best seasons in Campbell women's basketball history. This season, head coach Ronny Fisher led his team to 21 wins, including a record 16 victories in Big South Conference play, capturing the team's first regular season title since 2001. In just 4 seasons at Campbell, Fisher has led his team to 3 20-win seasons, while capturing 2 Big South Conference Coach of the Year honors. This year, his Camels ranked 4th in the nation, allowing their opponents to just under 52 points per game. Campbell is one of just 5 Division I programs to be ranked in the top 25 nationally in scoring defense in each of the past 4 seasons. Campbell was poised to go back to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 2 decades. If any coach would be given leeway in being somewhat selfish in these times, to dwell on the disappointment of having a historic season cut short, Ronny Fisher would be that coach. But that's not Ronny Fisher. We do discuss the disappointment, but Coach Fisher is focused more on the bigger picture with the terrible virus, missing his team and coaches, how he leans on his faith more than ever, and a silver lining of being under one roof once again with his entire family. We start our Coffee with Coaches conversation as Fisher looks back on the week of the Big South Tournament.
We sat here and we watched TC and Longwood play on a Tuesday, and the tournament had already started, and we watched them play, and we have a great practice Wednesday and getting prepared. We knew our opponent at that point, and the league had made a decision to go on with the tournament, and then I think overnight it became we're going to go on without fans, and so obviously across the country, seeing the virus spread and seeing the things that were happening, there were so many concerns, but it still felt like that was what we were doing. And even to the point we were on the court, I think we had 12 to 12:55 as our game day workout, and we're on the court. Literally halfway through the workout, Shelly comes in and lets us know that the tournament is being canceled. So it was really abrupt, and so we took our team into our locker room, and we just sat there and talked for probably about 30, 45 minutes. And at that time, we did not know if the NCAA was going to cancel the tournament or not, but I felt pretty certain it would. So it was a very abrupt ending and very difficult. But also in the big picture things, I didn't want our players to be possibly endangered either from playing. You saw other sports where different athletes were getting the virus, and it had obviously come from a teammate or something or from an opponent. So there was concern there, and there was no debate on whether it was the right decision, but it was certainly a very abrupt ending. From a pure basketball standpoint, the first thing that came to mind, and it's the first thing I told our players in the locker room, is that I'm so thankful that we got to experience a full regular season with this team, and we had a chance to complete that journey. And it was such an amazing year. We were able to win a championship, but more importantly, the team was just awesome, and it was so fun to coach. And immediately, the first thing I said was, I can't imagine being a spring sport right now because their season is probably going to be canceled. And so the first thing that came about was really a thankfulness that we had a chance to complete that regular season and just have a full season as far as that goes. Obviously, I was disappointed for Haley and Kiana, the abruptness of their season and their careers ending. That was tough. And but even on a bigger scale, and we really talked about this, our country is experiencing something it's never experienced in my lifetime, and there are people dying, and there are families that are being affected with the disease. There are families that are being affected economically. And, when you look at the unemployment numbers from the past few days and you see the things that are happening, it almost feels selfish to even think about basketball. And we talked about that as a team. And yeah, we miss it, but, there are a lot of things bigger than basketball. And so I think our perspective was the right one, although it still hurt not to be able to play. Well, the first challenge, is we're at a time that right now we would be in class and we would be with our team, and we're not. And there's this community that you build and you have, and all of a sudden it's gone. And you can call and you can text and you can group chat or whatever, but it's not the same. And I think that's the biggest thing that's missing right now. I have two kids that are college age kids, and they're both home with me and my wife and Jake, and they enjoyed it for a few days, but they miss their friends, and they miss being with them, and they miss enjoying spring with them. Our players, they go through the grind of the season, and spring is a neat time for them to be normal students for a change and to enjoy each other. And I think they probably miss that more than anything. And I think, not just our players, but for everyone, I think the unknown is a little scary. And, wondering when we are going to get back to normal. Are we going to be able to come back to summer school and be together as a team again? Or when is that going to take place? And I was so thankful that Svenja was able to get home to Luxembourg and Lou was able to get home to Portugal. But when are they going to get a chance to come back? And when are the borders going to be open for travel back? So there's a lot of things up in the air, and it's all concerning. There's several other things you're worried about, but those are some of the main things right now. Purely selfishly, I miss playing in that NCAA tournament, or at worst case scenario, it would have been NIT, but I really think that we were playing well and we had Haley back, and I really feel like at home we could have won that tournament. And I miss that. We did kind of have a great year and kind of earned the opportunity. But in the same sense, I just miss the normalcy of having our players here and getting to work with them on a day-by-day basis, and it's part of your family. And now you're not able to share that time with them. And summer's great and everything to get away for a month or two, but that possibly being away for 4 or 5, 6 months, that's not what you want. And so I think I just miss our players more than anything. Just the normalcy of being able to come to work and work with your staff and work with your players and continue to build a program and be a part of their lives and hopefully help them. Well, it was an amazing year, and obviously the wins and losses were good. And I think I've mentioned this a few times, but the first practice I came in, our first practice as a team, I came into the locker room and Haley had drawn a ring on the whiteboard, and I walked in and I kind of smiled and everybody's kind of laughing, but there was a seriousness about that. We played for a championship last year and lost, and this year we wanted to win a championship, and so that was the underlying. That's not what we focused on daily. We focused on the day at hand, but in the back of our mind is we knew we wanted to do that. So when you're able to play a season and you're able to win a championship, there are 10 other teams that were vying for the same thing. And when you do that, there's a sense of accomplishment that we haven't experienced here. And I was so happy to be able to experience that, especially for Haley and Kiana and also our other players. It was just amazing to win the game. I guess it was against Presbyterian at home, and to clinch it and to celebrate on your home floor to win a championship is something that not many teams get to experience, and just blessed to experience that. And Probably more importantly, though, is our kids and our players are just amazing people this year, and they were fun to coach and fun to be around, and the winning helped. But traveling with them and just being a part of this team is really special. And we've got an amazing group of players and coaches and strength coach, a trainer, right on down the line. Our managers, just fun people to be around, and the journey was amazing. And I'll never forget it. It was a great season.
Can you go back and maybe tell us what it's been like to build this program and how you've done it to build them into a champion?
I think it all starts. I mean, there's so many variables there, but I think it all starts with our assistant coaches and the kids we've recruited, and the class that we have finishing: Haley Barber, Taya Bolden, and the players that Coach Watkins brought into the school, and the character and the work ethic of those players has been amazing over my 4 years here, and the continuity of our staff has been really important, but also the commitment by our staff to a common goal. And we really don't work in the future in our program. We work for the day, and every day our players and our staff have just brought it. And there's been a focus of what we wanted to accomplish, and there's been a focus of how hard we had to work to accomplish that. And the attitude and the effort has been there to get it done. And that sounds trite and easy, but that's something that doesn't happen that often. And I think that's the key to it, and just the work ethic and the attitude and the perseverance. I mean, every we've had a lot of hurdles, we've had injuries, and we've had things to deal with, but we persevered and kept a common attitude about what we wanted to accomplish, and we're able to do that.
What's next for you and the program now that you've reached this goal?
We're excited of what this year we accomplished, and we're still trying to enjoy that a little bit. And it's really difficult as I sit here talking. I'm actually in my office, and we've got awards and things we're going to give out to our players, and we can't do that. And we really hadn't had a chance to even celebrate what we did yet, because we didn't know we were done and until the NCAA canceled their tournament. So I look forward at some point of taking our team and our staff and enjoying what we did and doing that collectively. But I can tell you this: after we do that, we want to build on this, and we don't want this to be the pinnacle. We want this to be the start, and we want to keep the same work ethic and the same attitude, but we want to accomplish greater things in our program. And we certainly won't be satisfied. And although it was a great season, and we could have done better, and we could have. I would love the opportunity to play in the postseason. I'd hopefully get that again next year, because I think we could have gone and done some special things there.
When you're recruiting a player to your program, Coach, what are you telling these young women? What is your sales pitch to them?
Yeah, that's a great question. The first thing we talk about the ABCs of recruiting, and the first thing is we're an amazing institution, and academically, we have amazing school, and they can do anything they want from an academic standpoint, and they can be leaders in whatever field they decide to go into, and we sell the strong academics of Campbell. The second part is the basketball piece, and we blessed that we have the resources and the commitment from our administration that we want to win championships, and we want players that are motivated and want to win, and that's something we feel like we're going to be able to do every year, year in, year out. And then the third part is the C, or the community, is people here are just amazing, and that's why I chose to come here to take this job, as I love the leadership of our school. I love the people I meet. Our students and our players are just amazing, and our assistant coaches. And I think when you have a combination of those three areas with academics, basketball, and people, like we have at Campbell is very attractive, and I don't think you get that just everywhere. So that's our biggest sells, and trying to get players that see the same thing, that want to be in a program that has coaches and players with character in them, and strong work ethics that want to be winners, and that's what we sell and that's what we look for.
Finally, Coach, I know you're a big routine guy. I also know you're a big family man. Those two things have kind of combined with everything that has gone on. So, what is the new normal like for Ronnie Fisher and the Fisher clan?
Well, I don't know if it was ever normal to begin with, but the new normal something like this brings is, my faith is the most important thing to me, and this crisis is really makes you lean on your faith, and I know that God's in control, and I know He's sovereign, and sometimes a crisis like this makes you really go back to your faith and what you're grounded in. And I know in Romans it says that all things work together for good for those who love God and those who are called according to His purpose, and this is going to work together for good for His people. And I rest in that, and our family rests in that. And that's something that maybe it takes a crisis to make you really understand and feel that, and focus on that. So I'd say that's the first thing for me personally in my life. And the new norm, it is neat having my whole family home, and just getting to spend time with them. And although there's a lot of negative things going on, and a lot of crisis, obviously, there's so many positive things too. And just having my family home and healthy, and being have a great job that I love, those are huge things. So we'll get through this, and I choose to look at the positive side. The motto of our team this year was sweat and serve, and it's a time now that we that have the ability and that are healthy maybe need to serve those who can't. So we're trying to look out for some things like that for our family, that we can help out, do some things for others, and really serve at this time when we've been blessed and we need to help others who have some hardships right now.